Well, hi everyone, and welcome to the Infinity Futures Daily Trading video. My name is Raleigh White, and I'm here to talk to you about the trades we took in the live trading room on Monday, December 8th, 2014. Well, looking at today's economic calendar, you can see we had a pretty light schedule. At 9 o'clock, we had the release of the labor market conditions data, which came in lower with a value of 2.9 versus a value of 4.0 last month. Then at 11:30, we had FOMC member Locker speaking, and all day today we had the Eurogroup meetings occurring in Brussels. As far as today's pre-market sentiment was concerned, things were fairly negative coming into the open. Now, the Asian markets had closed mostly higher despite weak China data. Now, China data for November showed an unexpected decline in exports and imports. However, the Shanghai market closed up nearly 3 full percentage points as the financial services sector was pushing the index above 3,000 for the first time since April 2001. We also saw gains in the Australian market, which closed up 0.7 of a point on a rise in the banking sector. And the only poor performing market in Asia was the Korean Kospi, which was down 0.4 of a point on a slip in key blue chip stocks, including Hyundai Motor and POSCO Steel. As far as the European markets were concerned, they were open but trending lower on falling oil prices. Now, the energy sector was leading the markets lower as falling oil prices were putting pressure on energy producers. Sentiment was further being weighed as the weak China trade data suggested that there might be flagging export demand for products and services that are produced in the Eurozone. We also noted over the weekend that German Chancellor Merkel accused President Putin of fomenting instability in Moldova, Georgia, and Ukraine, and this was a key topic of discussion during today's Eurogroup meetings. As far as the United States is concerned, Wall Street figured to open up lower on weak economic data. Now, the futures were pointing down coming into the open on the slowing China trade activity and on lower Japanese GDP outlook, which came in down 1.9% on an annual basis in the third quarter. We also know that crude oil was under scrutiny after Morgan Stanley cut its oil price forecast through 2018, and the focus today for many U.S. investors would be on the labor market condition report and on FOMC member Lockhart's speech on an otherwise slow day for scheduled economic news and events. As far as our trading activity is concerned, I attempted 6 entries in the market, but unfortunately had no fills in any of our markets. But I would like to share with you some of the setups that I was considering. But before I do that, I need to remind everyone of this following important disclaimer, and that is that trading futures involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances, knowledge, and financial resources, as you may lose all or more of your initial investment. And always remember that past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Well, turning to the charts, let's begin here with the E-mini Dow market. And we can see right here at the open of the trading session, we had 2 bars moving lower, followed by 1 bar retracing, and I was hoping the second bar was going to retrace and give me a 2-bar pullback short entry at 17,920. But the market never came to me, moved away, and I had to take this trade out of the market. I then took a look at what was going on in the gold market, and looking at gold right here at the open, you can see we had 4 bars moving higher, followed by 1 bar retracing and a second bar retracing, and I had a long entry here at 1194.4. What happened here is the market came down, it opened up, it moved to my profit target. When it did that, I took this trade off, and I'm glad I did, because I would have gotten filled on the way towards my stop loss. The next market I saw some opportunities in was the Euro FX futures market, and in this market you can see we had a couple of entry attempts. Right here at the open of the U.S. trading session, we had 2 bars moving higher, followed by 1 bar retracing, and I was hoping the second bar was going to retrace and give me a long entry at 122.68, but when the market moved away from me, I had to take this trade off. You can then see a little bit later in the trading session that we had 2 bars moving higher, followed by 1 bar retracing, and I was hoping this second bar here was going to retrace and give me a long entry at 122.74 right off the previous day's low, but you can see the market moved away from me and I needed to take this trade out. So that brought me to the bond market, and looking at bonds, you can see here that we had an opportunity right here at the open. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 bars moving higher, followed by 1 bar retracing, and I was hoping this second bar was going to retrace and give me a long entry at 141.18 right off the main pivot point. The market came within 2 ticks of my fill and moved away from me, so I had to take that trade out. I then saw an opportunity in the crude oil market, and in looking at this market, we can see also right here at the open we had 1, 2 bars moving higher, followed by 2 bars retracing. What happened here is this next bar opened here, did not really take any step towards my fill. It moved through my profit target, and when it did that, I had to take this trade off, and I'm glad I did, because the market would have filled me on the way towards my stop loss. So for during the trading session, I had 6 attempts in the markets, came close on a couple of those, but no fills, and I did keep my eye on crude oil because I thought there might be an opportunity forming just before lunch, and there certainly was. You can see here that we had a column of O's going down, X's retracing, O's, X's, O's, X's, and this established this area right here at 63.42 as a minor area of resistance. And so we saw prices moving lower and then coming higher, then moving lower, and when they climbed up to this point, I was sitting here with a short entry at 63.42. I was risking 10 ticks to make 5 ticks on this trade. I'll call this a quick scalp trade, and you can see I got my fill. The market turned around, moved into my profit target. When it moved 5 ticks in my direction, I also moved my stop loss to break even to make sure that if I didn't get fill at my profit target and the market moved against me, that the worst thing that could happen was I could get out at break even. So from that perspective, for me today, 7 attempts in the market, just 1 fill here just before lunch in crude oil, and I closed the day up $50 per contract traded, and looking forward to seeing what kind of opportunities might present themselves tomorrow. Well, looking at tomorrow's economic calendar, you can see we have another light schedule, but there is one key event that we need to be aware of, and that's at 9 o'clock. We have the JOLTS job openings report data being released. That's a high impact report, so we want to be careful around being in the market on the release of that data. And then also we have all-day ECOFIN meetings going on in Brussels. This is where on a monthly basis the finance ministers for the European Union countries get together and discuss fiscal matters for Europe. So hopefully between the two of these events we're going to see some movement in the markets and give us some opportunities to trade. And with that, I want to thank everyone for watching today's daily video. I wish you a pleasant evening. I look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Take care and good night.